And welcome now, dear friends, to the Thursday edition of Fresh Bread. This is Reverend Phil Anderson here, pastor of Oakland United Methodist Church and Kansas Avenue United Methodist Church here in the capital city of Topeka, Kansas. Hard to believe already, January 26, 2023. The month is getting close to being over, this first month of 2023. Hey, I hope you're having a good week. It's, again, a blessing to have you with us today on Fresh Bread. Again, make sure you let your friends, neighbors, relatives know anybody around the world can listen to this. So remember, KAUMC.church. Fresh Bread here. Again, Reverend Phil Anderson here, pastor of Oakland United Methodist Church and Kansas Avenue United Methodist Church in Topeka, Kansas, speaking this morning. And again, I wish we could be sitting across the table for a cup of coffee. But with that being said, I'm glad you asked that question. When are we going to have next coffee with Pastor Phil? Well, we have set that up for Saturday, February the 4th. It'll be over at the Pad at 9 o'clock. So if you can make it, come over to the Pad. We like to support our church members and their businesses, and we have one here at the Pad. Do come over and join us at 9 o'clock on that Saturday, February the 4th. It's going to be fun. And I want to tell you why we're doing that. First of all, we want to get out of the walls of the church. Secondly, I just enjoy having coffee with the church folks and getting everybody together. Third, we're going to also be doing a neighboring movement meeting that morning. We're going to be getting those, again, relaunched here. Want you to come and be a part of it. And always interesting to me when we start new things. It's if somebody hasn't done something for a while, if somebody's never done it before, it's almost like pulling somebody's teeth out. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. There is such a reluctance for folks to do anything different from what they've done. You know, I just shake my head. Either we're flexible or we are just so entrenched in our ways. You know, I will tell you this, and this, I gotta get off script here for a minute on James, because this came to me this morning. I want to just tell you. We can talk more about this anytime you want. Believe me, I'll take your phone calls on this one. 785-224-6432. If you miss me, send me text me. That's the best way to reach me. Just text me at that number and I'll call you. Don't call me during the daytime. I'm usually tied up, but you can text me and I'll call you when I get a minute. Here's what I want to tell you. And I don't think everybody sees this. Some do, but I don't think everybody does. I would like it eventually for everybody to see this. Churches are very interesting groups. And you notice I didn't say organizations. An organization is non-living. It's just an entity. A church is an organism. It's alive. It's moving. It's growing. It's changing. It's adapting. But if we as the church become an organization, we cease to change. We cease to adapt, and we get stuck. And what happens when you cease to be living? Well, you die, right? I mean, and we continue to see churches in Topeka close up because of one reason or another. You can blame it on the neighborhood's changed or the people have changed, but I really think it's the fact that churches didn't change when they should have changed. And I still hear people say that they like things a certain way, and that's great. I like the fact that you like things a certain way. Believe me, I really do. But I've also heard people say that they've been in churches where the pastor said, and this wasn't coming from me, but it may come from me some point, maybe. They said, let's just look at music in the church, for instance. And they said, if you are in the church and you're playing the music that you liked, 20, 30, 40 years ago, that is not going to reach any new people now. Music is such a vital part of what we do. If we cannot move forward in that realm, and I don't necessarily mean getting drums and electric guitars and a big band. I'm not against that by any means. But if we don't start making some changes in just the way we do our worship services, because based on personal preference, we don't want to do it, we really are running the risk of just becoming totally obsolete and ineffective to our neighbors. So I just leave it at that. This will be an ongoing discussion we need to keep talking about down the road. Well, again, the Bible says, count it all joy in James 1:2 when you encounter various trials. And I think churches go through trials. And I think part of it is, are we going to grow or are we going to stay stuck? Are we going to be out of our comfort zone or are we going to be nice and cozy? So let's talk about that tomorrow on Fresh Bread. This will be a very relevant discussion. Again, it's going to take us a while to get through James because there's a lot going on here. So come back and join us tomorrow for Thursday's edition of, or I should say, a Friday's edition of Fresh Bread. Until then, God bless you. Have a great day. We'll talk to you then.